What's going on? It's your boy SB. All right, as you guys know, we are out here in Big Bear. As we're out here in Big Bear, I wanted to do something special. So I have somebody sitting here next to me that is a part of not only Amazon, but it's a part of somebody that on this channel that we wanted to interview. We've been trying to get our hands on one of these RME people. Can't find them in the warehouse. Can't find them in inbound. Can't find them in outbound. But we found one in Big Bear. You feel me?
Of all places.
So he goes by the name of Chris, and he's going to give us some information talking about the position of RME, how he got in, the hiring process, his journey, what he thinks about Amazon, all that good stuff. He's going to give us some info. Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself. What's good?
What's going on? It's your boy, Young Chris. Nah, man, it's Chris, man. I work for RME. I'm in LAX9, so you got your South Fontana area.
Nice.
Yeah, I take care of all the remedy over there at LAX9. You know, so yeah.
So first off, what is your position?
So my position title is an MRA technician. That stands for Mechatronics, Robotics, and Apprenticeship Technician. Essentially, I do work for RME. I just work under their techs. So they're teaching me, they're training me. I'm an apprentice. I report to them, and then I go from there.
Now that sounded really intelligent. What is that called again?
Mechatronics, Robotics, Apprenticeship.
All right, so my first question. When you're, let's say for us regular people, you feel me?
Right.
That sounds like you need some type of degree. You need some type of background, work history in that work field. Mm-hmm. Do you need any of that to get into this position? Let's say just background type. Can anybody get in there? Do you need a bachelor's? Do you need any type of schooling? What do you need?
So background right now, you don't need much. I did go to school for electrical work. So I did go to school at SJVC in Ontario. Shout out to them. Good school, great school. Nice. So I went there. I got my electrical degree. From there, I just applied, and I'm coming from an outside source. Amazon likes to hire inside. So I came from an outside source and got it. But I think the MRA position is a good position because you don't really need much. At that point, you're an apprentice, so they're going to teach you the ins, the outs, the do's, and the don'ts. So.
That's official. All right, so for this next question, with the hiring process, when it comes, most of the followers on here, that's what Amazon, we've been in the warehouse. Some of us are in corporate. Shout out to the delivery side. We ain't forgot about y'all. What is the process? In the warehouse, we literally filled out a form, and we had orientation and the start date. We had zero interview process, barely any type of background check. It was really like go within like 3 days. What's that hiring process? What's the time limit? And are you guys getting interviewed for that position? How does that work?
Okay, so my hiring process, I don't know if it varies from person to person, but my hiring process, I applied. I found them on Indeed. I applied. I want to say a recruiter hit me up within about 2 weeks. She hit me up. She gave me a whole process, and then I did have a call. So a phone interview, I guess you would say, from my actual hiring manager. I see him every day. So he gave me a call. I'm on the phone with him for about 30, 40 minutes. We're just chopping it up. It's nothing, too in-depth. He didn't really want to know my skills because he does have my resume sitting in front of him. Right. So it was really just like, how are we interacting at that very moment, which was kind of dope to me, you know what I mean? Because it was more or less, we're not basing it on the skills at this very moment. We're looking at how we communicate over phone, because if you know RME, they have to communicate with ops all day, every day, all the time. So I think they just want to see how I communicated with him. I did that interview, and then I was called in for an interview, but they didn't need to do that interview. So I did get hired after that first phone call interview, which was pretty dope, because more times than not, you have a series of interviews with different people. Right. So I just had my main manager, the hiring manager, he did an interview, and that was that.
All right, so with that hiring time frame, what do you think that time frame was from when you applied to when you accepted the job?
That time frame did take a little time, because they did have to, I guess, assess my skills and all this. I did have to complete a Ramsey test as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with a Ramsey, but it's just an overall assessment of your skills coming into the field. They want to make sure you have a formal background, you know what I mean? They want to make sure that you're kind of cognizant of what you're gonna be doing, twisting the wrench and things like that. So I would say that whole process took about a month. It took about a month. Yeah,
Okay.
it took about a month. I would think my actual start date. Yeah, I would give it about maybe 5 weeks for sure. 5 weeks to actually get everything done. You know, paperwork signed, introduced to people, and then actually to come into the actual location for my first day. It took about 5 weeks, and then they sent me to school after that too. So
Nice.
that's a whole different thing. But yeah, with the MRI thing, that's what they do. They definitely pick you up, see your skills, they assess you with the Ramsey, and then they send you to school. I went to school in Dallas, which was pretty cool. So
Nice.
yeah, I was there for about 3 months, and it was a good experience. Good experience. They teach you the ins and outs, like I said, the do's, the don'ts. Safety, big on safety though. I mean, you know,
Facts.
Amazon, they're
Facts.
huge on safety. So
Right. All right. So Chris said that he got in through Indeed. That's a trip. Usually the people that I talk to, they're going to like Amazon. I forgot the main website that is called off of Google, or internally through Amazon Jobs. But this is my first time hearing people or somebody go through, at least personally go through Indeed. So for those of you that's trying to get into that position as well, looks like Indeed would be a go-to spot. So that's what's up.
also, just to kind of briefly touch up on that, I was not an Amazon worker. You know
Right.
what I mean? So like
You're
I said,
external.
I was external. Yeah.
Right.
So they hire within a lot more frequent than external people.
Right.
So I would think if you're internal, going through Amazon and doing the right steps, that's a big plus. That's what they're looking for sure. So
And then one of the next questions I have for you, how long have you been, you have no prior Amazon before coming in as RME, right?
I don't at all.
And
No.
so how long have you been with the company so far?
Including school, which was 3 months. I think I've been with the company for about 8 months.
For about 8 months.
About 8 months now, yeah. And they already sent me to do work in New York as well.
Hold, before we can get to that,
Yeah.
he survived. You feel me? He's still
did.
breathing. You feel me? He got freedom. You feel me? He's out here on vacation. That's what I'm talking about. That's the next thing I want to talk about. They already sent him on trips. He just got back from New York on the job. With this 8 months, what is your overall, what's the word, satisfactory level with the job? Let's give a 1 star to 5 star. How are you feeling with the job right now?
In reality, I'll probably give it 4.8 stars.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
very satisfied with what I do. I'm very satisfied with my hours, my schedule, who I work with. I got some good techs that I work with. It's other locations where you won't have as good as techs as I do.
Right.
But I got some great techs that I learn from. They throw information at me, whether I'm ready to receive it or not. You know what I mean? So I'm very, they're very knowledgeable of their thing too. So I'm very satisfied with that. The whole process. I think I'm very satisfied with the job for sure. For the whole 8-month process, like I said, they did send me out of state to do some work already.
Right.
So that's also fulfilling. You know what I mean? If that's something that you want to do, you want to travel a little bit. You just got to be willing to work for it. So yeah,
That's
I'm
a
very
fact.
satisfied. Very satified.
So they sent him out to New York. We got something like that when we was in the warehouses,
Yeah.
even in corporate. It's like the away team when they'll send us out.
Yeah.
They give you a per diem, the rental car,
Yeah,
the
all
hotel.
that.
So you had that as well?
Yeah, I had all that. I had the per diem,
Let's go.
rental car for 3 months too.
Is
Wow.
that not one of the dopest work experiences ever?
I think that's probably the dopest thing that you can get from your job. It kind of just shows you that they care about you as much as you think that they care about you. Because there's always a dividing factor where
Right.
jobs and you feel like, oh, I'm just a number. But
Right.
nah, they actually give a little bit of a damn. So they
Right.
threw some money at me, and you gotta, in return, you gotta work hard for them.
That's
So
a fact.
that's how I see it. But
So this position, RME, even that apprentice program, which we've heard a lot. I'm not sure if it was Super Chat Charlie or if it was, who was it? DJ Reezy. It was one of y'all from the lives, and they were talking about this apprenticeship program. So that's dope that you're in that. So here's my thing, because I've had a lot of people hit up the channel and ask about going into RME. My personal question, because I was like, they do make some good money. Do you have to have schooling to get into that position?
Not necessarily. Like I said, as an apprentice, you're coming in as an apprentice. You could have a fresh mind, but you got to be willing to go there. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to put your best foot forward. You got to be willing to show them something. They're not just
Nice.
going to feed anybody who's not hungry. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
you don't necessarily have to have a background for an apprenticeship. I did, thankfully. And I could have gone on as a tech too, but I felt like the apprenticeship was more for me to learn, because I've never worked in maintenance, so it's
Right.
for more something for me to learn. But I think if you want to come on as like a tech 2 or a tech 3 or a control systems tech as well, you definitely have to have some form of maintenance background, you know what I mean, like an electrical background, plumbing, you know what I mean, some type of handyman work. So
Gotcha.
it helps, you know what I mean. You could come in fresh, but it just helps to, you know, always boost their resume.
And then on that, also one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up on this one. How does the growth look on the RME side? I have really no clue. I know, like in the warehouse, we have you start off as a entry level associate, which is a tier 1. Then you go into tier 3, the PAs and the learning trainers. Then you have the manager, L4s, L5s, and you have the operations, senior ops. What do you really have? Do you know like that growth, the ladder?
Man.
I guess, is there a ladder for RME?
It's a ladder, and they actually just changed it. They just changed it over this year. But I'm glad you asked that question, because I do want to give out some shout outs to Bobby. Bobby's a good tech. Kenny's a good tech.
Shout out to Kenny.
And I just met these guys, but since I've been there within 8 months, they've already moved up to management positions, and managers have already moved up into corporate or wherever they want to go. It's a lot of room to grow. Good opportunities in there too. So take advantage, man. You got to take advantage and give your best foot forward for sure. I think that's really what they want. They want somebody who's gonna pick their senior tech's brain and develop their own set of skills and morals, and you know, just be a resource to the team. So that's what I'm trying to go for. So,
Man, well, that's super official. Even just with that short amount of time you gave, you answered a lot of questions that we had. And for those of you that's tuned in, and you guys were some of the ones that had some of those questions, listen, if we didn't hit a topic or a question that you want to answer, drop that mug in the comment section. We're connected, more connected than you think.
Yeah.
But I can get him back on the channel. He can give us some more information. But just drop it in that comment section if you had any other questions. But so far, man, with me, SB, the family, the channel, we definitely want to thank you giving us some insight on this position.
Appreciate you.
Definitely, man. And you know, proud of you, all your hard work. I'm excited to see where you're going to be at in the next 8 months, because that's within 8 months they already sent you out.
Crazy.
To New York, right?
Crazy. Yeah, I've been to New York and I've been to Dallas. They sent me to Dallas for 3 months to learn what I got to do. So that's you just got to appreciate things like that, you know.
And what is that position title called one more time?
It's a mechatronics and robotics apprenticeship, so an MRA technician. A lot of people think it's like, it is really base level, but a lot of people, you know, they kind of look over it. They're not willing to kind of take a step backwards to actually learn something to go forward. You know what I mean? So I feel like even senior techs, if you need it, you do it. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to change fields, do it, because they'll teach you. So all at their expense too. So
Noted.
good company.
Y'all know where we gonna put our next resumes at.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, but shout out to my dude Chris, man. Thank you so much for taking this time out.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited for your journey. Next time we have you on, I'm already knowing there's gonna be some more stuff that you've accomplished since then. But proud of you. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's your boy SB.
And your boy Young Chris.
And your boy Young Chris. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Let's go.
I'm on my grind. 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 I get up, I get out and get to it. I'm on my grind.